Hello and greetings in the name of Jesus Christ from Neighborhood Church here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Andi Woodworth. I'm one of the founding pastors of Neighborhood Church, and I use she and they pronouns. And I want to wish you a happy Pride. Happy Pride all the way from here in Georgia. Friends, if you've been paying attention to the news, you know that in Georgia and in lots of places all over the country, legislators and their kind of folks out in the world are trying to make being trans and non-binary and frankly just LGBTQ in general as hard or even illegal if they can. So friends, we are so glad that you are in solidarity with the queer community, that you are a part of the queer community, and that we together are in solidarity with each other to make sure that we are working for justice on all fronts. I had the chance back in March to be able to be one of the first openly trans chaplains of the day for the Georgia State House of Representatives. And what that meant was that I was able to speak to all of the state representatives for my state, for Georgia. And I encouraged them to try to see their neighbors as we really are. There's so many different kinds of people in the world. And I wanted to encourage the state legislators to remember that there are so many different kinds of people in Georgia. People in Georgia are not a monolith. We're particularly not all white. We're not all Christian. We're not all straight. We're not all cis. We come in all kinds of varieties, and I wanted to help them see that folks in the LGBTQ community are regular folks, just trying to live regular lives and succeed and thrive like everybody else. And I went up to that podium and to speak to these legislators, and friends, I was a little bit nervous. I had no idea what would happen. But when I went with me, I was imagining two sets of people with me, one set in each hand. I was imagining all of the queer and trans elders that I have known, that have helped me to see what it means to be queer and to be out and unafraid. And on the other hand, I had all of these little queers, these little baby gays, baby theys, some of us, and imagining all the kids who are being directly impacted by these anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ pieces of legislation. And so I brought them with me and some of my friends and family and loved ones, and I was able to speak. I'm not sure exactly what that impact was, but I know this past year, friends, in Georgia, me and a whole lot of other folks, a whole lot of high-capacity, talented, energetic, engaged folks showed up to our state capitol, and we stopped over 24 anti-LGBTQ pieces of legislation. None of those pieces of legislation passed this year. I like to think that it had something to do with us showing up. And so my encouragement to you as we celebrate Pride, it's not just about the parades and the parties and all of the fun things. I want you to remember that Pride was a riot. It is a moment of resistance. It is a moment to demand justice for all of our queer and trans siblings. So friends, I want to encourage you to show up. Show up in your state houses. Show up in your city council meetings. Show up in the offices of your legislators and other officials. And remember that if our lawmakers and officials don't respect our existence, they will expect our resistance. Friends, we're going to show up and we're going to show them who we are and that we belong like everyone else. So friends, happy Pride all the way from Atlanta.